Mario Maker 3 has the potential to be the best game ever created. So today, I'm showing every new enemy, boss, power-up, and feature to make it happen. We have swinging claws, but what if they also attacked Mario? Taily enemies are a perfect variation of the claw that can only be used once and require special timing to avoid damage. Don't you hate when doors just open and close? Now, with angry doors, unsuspecting players can get attacked. Mario needs to stun the door and open it to defeat the enemy before moving through it as normal. This will give Ghost House levels much needed jump scare potential. Another great addition to Ghost Houses and Castles is the chandelier platform. These hang from the ceiling and can drop down when a player gets close. The maker would get to choose how far these drop down. The Wiggler Race levels in Mario Wonder are so fun that we need to see them as a level type in Mario Maker 3. Creators can set the Wiggler's route by uploading the course. The game would capture their movement like it does with Ninja speedruns and have that ghost become the Wiggler Mario needs to beat. Finding secret pipes that make you go into the foreground or background are so cool. With this new feature, you can make playable areas closer or further from the camera. The badge system in Mario Wonder allows for many creative ways to play. In Mario Maker 3, the maker can choose which badge the player must use, and it will show up like a clear condition at the beginning of the level. Then, entire courses can be designed around using that single badge. Yeah, we have dash platforms in the 3D World style, but how about in every style? Now Mario can also hang from the top of them and connect them to on-off switches for creative and fun gameplay. Everyone has imagined being invisible at some point, so why not bring that power to Mario Maker 3? The Vanish Cap turns Mario into Vanish Mario for 20 seconds. He can walk through enemies, fences, and certain walls. The Vanish Cap would be so fun for speedrun levels to have to pass through all the enemies quickly, or as a great addition to puzzle levels to move through the right walls to get an item. Speaking of hat power-ups, where's the Metal Cap? Metal Mario becomes invulnerable and extremely heavy and can even walk underwater. The Metal Cap could allow Mario to walk straight through twisters and ignore many water enemies. The Bruiser is an enemy that didn't join the Mario universe until New Super Mario Bros., but they definitely have become an enemy we need. These flailing punchers are actually big gray boos that can burst through certain blocks and sometimes launch barrels at Mario. My favorite part about them is that they follow Mario and can break through where most enemies can't. A single bruiser in a level can either be a multi-hit enemy to deal with in a tight space, a supporting goon for a boss, or even just a tool to find a hidden secret. The Bee Mushroom is another amazing power-up from the Galaxy series. Bee Mario can fly for a limited time and climb honey walls, but if Mario touches water, he loses the power-up. I see this power-up as a fun way to create a technical don't touch the water style of course, where Mario needs to use precise flying and strategy to make it through. Everyone knows that Mario can defeat most enemies from above, but how many can he hit from below? The Bramble is a ball with spiky vine legs attached to suction cup feet and actually rewards Mario with coins from being hit underneath if he times it right. Adding more risky ways to interact with enemies for rewards will definitely make for some really creative levels in Mario Maker 3. One of the most underrated features of Mario Wonder is the pulley mechanic. In Mario Maker 3, makers can add pulleys onto platforms that have items, big coins, or other secrets attached. Time for some more boss variety. King Bob-omb takes 3 hits to defeat. Mario needs to get behind him and pick him up to throw him. Each phase will be different. He'll start by moving slow in phase 1, but then he gets faster in phase 2, and then in phase 3, he throws small Bob-ombs periodically. P. Piranha is another awesome boss. He also takes 3 hits to defeat. He spits goop in phase 1, creates tornadoes in phase 2, and flies using his leafy arms in phase 3. Fireball spam Bowser fights haunt my dreams. With Dry Bowser, fireballs don't work because he's immune. He throws bones and blue fireballs and can move faster than regular Bowser. Aside from adding new bosses to use in our courses, adding special abilities to previous bosses can make them way more interesting. You can now choose from a list of preset abilities that change based on how many hits the boss has taken. For instance, if you hit the boss once, it can grow while you shrink. Or you can make the boss spawn clones of itself during the fight. Mario Maker 2 doesn't have enough variety of hazards, and it doesn't have much electric elements. Now, with electricity blocks, certain spots can zap Mario if he doesn't watch the timing carefully. Speaking of hazards, we need honey as a liquid we can add on the ground. This will reduce jump height in a specific area and slow movement of a player. It would be perfect for a themed level with sting bees, or just to add challenge to boss fights. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time. We need more power-ups from these iconic games, like the Rock Mushroom. The Rock Mushroom lets Mario encase himself into a boulder to roll around and jump, damaging enemies and destroying blocks. This power-up would be amazing to roll across spikes and to break through blocks to reveal hidden rooms with treasure inside. Boos are classic Mario enemies, so why not let Mario become one in Mario Maker 3? With the Boo Mushroom, Mario can float in midair and move through specific types of barriers, but also attracts boos towards him. I love the idea that Mario can fly around an arena to explore and find the way forward, but also has the drawbacks of boos chasing him to make it balanced. You thought Ninja speedruns were cool? Now with Cosmic Clones, shadowy duplicates of Mario copy his every move. Mario takes damage if he gets hit by one. This edition will open up a new category of level where you can't stand still or retrace your steps. Direction platforms are blocks that go the way the arrow points. Could be awesome for puzzles and platforming levels. If we were to make a hybrid monster between a thwomp and a spike ball, we would get a Growl. These rollers act like spike balls, except they turn around when hitting obstacles instead of breaking. We have so many levels that use sideways trampolines in Mario Maker 2 to try to mimic this behavior, but frankly, it limits what we can do and doesn't look very good. Growls are the roller patrollers that Mario Maker 3 needs. The count lift moves in a straight line to the right while counting down. When the timer reaches 0, the lift falls. The pole blocks from Mario Wonder are unique to add a platform to climb or stand on only when the player hits the block. You can now draw the pathway as you would with snake blocks. These blocks would be super fun with Kaizo or speedrun courses. Enemies that will add the most depth to Mario Maker 3 are the ones that bring fresh mechanics we haven't been able to use yet. The block stepper from Mario 3D World can only appear in groups of 2 or more. Defeating one of these will make the others become frantic and run away for a short time, but then eventually chase Mario seeking vengeance. Connecting enemies in this way could make for some incredible pacifist type of level where you can't touch a single enemy. It could even just be useful when putting a key inside of an enemy where it would only release the key once all of the enemies in the group are defeated. We all know the best thing to do in Mario 64 was to punch Goombas right in the face. Wait, that was just me? The Karate Mushroom lets Mario punch and jump kick enemies. This would make for some really fun fighting types of levels like a boss rush where you can only punch and kick your way through all the battles. Speedruns aren't stressful enough, right? Mario Maker 3 adds plus clocks where blue clocks refill 10 seconds of the time limit and green clocks refill 100 seconds. Now makers can keep the pressure and the anticipation of the timer all the way through the level. Rifts are antimatter obstacles that damage the player. These would be so interesting to add to give levels an otherworldly vibe and have new challenges that Mario needs to dodge. I would love to see these in boss arenas that make the fight feel difficult and epic. Right now, we have to put a key inside of an enemy if we want a player to be forced to defeat it. Instead, Mario Maker 3 can make something happen when an enemy is beaten, like a pipe appearing, a wall exploding, or a message popping up. This next power-up sparked some interesting debates in the Mario community, but is a really cool power-up on its own. The Super Crown. This can transform Toadette into Peachette, which has a double jump in midair and a floating jump. I would love to see this power-up as a way to change up the gameplay in a regular course, or to make levels easier for more beginner players. Speaking of making things easier, we need to add in the Invincibility Leaf. Nothing makes Mario more overpowered than becoming invincible, filling the P-meter faster than normal, and having all of Raccoon Mario's powers. I would also love to be able to implement a system like in Super Mario 3D World, where as a maker you can have this power-up appear after the player has died a certain amount of times. This can give them a chance to make progress in your course without getting too frustrated and quitting. Mario gets to become Donkey Kong. Swinging vines and chains are similar to swinging claws, but you can choose the length of each one for more or less swing. Vines would switch to their chain variations in Castle, Underground, and Ghost Houses. Let's keep turning up the heat with the Flame Chomp. It's basically a chain chomp with fireballs as the chains, and it can fly. The Flame Chomp shoots fireballs from its tail, but when it runs out, it explodes like a Bob-omb. Even though this enemy is less popular in the series, the dynamic element of it shooting flames until it runs out and then exploding could be really interesting to build around. Mario could be in levels where he needs to strategize and help guide the fireballs, and then use the Flame Chomp to explode and open a secret room. We have bouncy things in Mario Maker 2, but nothing quite like the Bloomp. Adding in these moving balloons that can pop from underneath will make sky platforming more unique and fun to play. When we think of blue shells, we typically think of the extremely frustrating item in Mario Kart that ruins your race even though you were in first place the entire time. Oh, sorry, I got carried away. The blue shell power-up in Mario Maker 3 could turn Mario into Shell Mario, and then he can shell dash, making him invulnerable to most things. I would love to see a speedrun level where you need to get in and out of the shell slide to blast through enemies in a tight space and utilize the bouncing properties to maintain speed in both directions. Pipes currently take you to another zone, or they do nothing. I want Mario to be blasted across the stage with pipe cannons. They either launch him further in the stage, or to a secret zone. Remember when Mario could run up walls? Well, we're bringing it back with triangular blocks from Super Mario World. Mario is able to continue his sprint by running up the wall that the block is placed against. We need message blocks in Mario Maker 3. I know we have these works of art, but it would be so much better to get a message telling you about a secret or a tutorial on how the level gimmick works. They can allow makers to tell stories in their levels and provide hints without us having to write giant words with ice blocks. With Mario Wonder came new power-ups that would make great additions to Mario Maker 3. The Elephant Mushroom, Bubble Flower, and Drill Mushroom all give players new abilities and new ways to interact with existing course parts. These will definitely add more variety to your level design. So this next enemy idea might shock you, and that's because it's literally a ball of electricity. The amp hovers or circles around an area and zaps Mario if he touches it. It'd be amazing if you could create the pathway for these little orbs, similar to the way that we use snake blocks. I would love to see these lightning balls protect a juicy power-up, or as minions in a tough boss fight. The Heave-Ho is an enemy that has only existed in 3D, but actually could translate really well into all game styles in Mario Maker 3. This reject Roomba follows Mario around and flips him up behind it. The Heave-Ho could be dangerous by potentially throwing Mario in a pit, but otherwise would just annoy Mario and could throw him into other treacherous obstacles. This type of enemy opens up a whole new world for puzzle solving and hidden secrets in levels, and even though this probably is one of the least likely from my list, it would be an amazing addition. The Shy Guy has been a staple character in the Mario universe all the way back to Super Mario Bros. 2. Behavior-wise, this enemy would be basically a reskinned Goomba, but could come in multiple colors like Koopas. Shy Guys have started to become more associated with Yoshi and Paper Mario games than mainline Mario games, but with the inclusion of the Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom, I think it's only a matter of time that we get these enigmatic enemies. My biggest problem with clear condition levels is they don't have checkpoints, and that makes them usually long and tedious to play. Now, the checkpoints will take a snapshot of your progress on the clear condition when you grabbed it, and revert to that state when you die. If you fail the clear condition, you won't be able to grab that checkpoint. Whenever I ask anyone what power-ups they'd like to see, the Ice Flower always comes up. Ice Mario can throw ice balls to freeze his enemies. The freeze mechanic is awesome to immobilize enemies and to create frosty weapons to throw. Mario can even create a platform where there wasn't one before. If we're going to add the Ice Flower, let's take it a step further and add the Penguin Suit. This power-up is everything amazing about the Ice Flower, but Mario also turns into a penguin and can slide on ice and on water without sinking. I would love to see a level where you need to switch between sliding across water and running while throwing ice balls to showcase this unique power-up. Mario Maker 2 was codenamed Slopes in development, but we need more enemies that can take advantage of these. The Cooligan takes sliding on slopes to a whole new level. This sunglasses-wearing penguin can slide on the ground and bounce off of obstacles and takes 2 hits to defeat. With the Cooligan added to the game, more creators will make interesting terrain in their levels to take advantage of the way these penguins can bounce around and slide down slopes. Plus, if they're going to add the Ice Flower like I think they will, the Cooligan fits perfectly with icy levels. Speaking of ice, you know those fire turtles in the 3D World style and those plants that launch fireballs? We need both of those, but cold. The Ice Bro and Ice Piranha Plant would be a few of many ways to add the freeze mechanic that's currently missing for Mario Maker 2. Instead of just burning Mario to a crisp like they do every time, I would love for these frosty fiends to capture him in a block of ice while he mashes his way to freedom. This might scare some of you, but the sun actually rises and sets over time. In Mario Maker 3, we added an element where the sun can set as you play through the level, or it starts in darkness and rises over time. Mario Maker just isn't slimy enough. Now with the goo course part, we can cover certain sections to make Mario move slowly, or to have the Wubba transformation swim through it fast. Okay, so hear me out. We have Hammer Brothers in the game, and we have the Boomerang Flower in the game. What if we had the Boomerang Bro? These baddies started tormenting Mario in Super Mario Bros. 3 and throw a projectile that curves and then returns. Mario Maker has so many linear bullet type attacks, and Boomerang Bros will help people get more creative. You know what I've been thinking? We don't have enough derpy rock slabs in Mario Maker. That's why I propose we add in Whomp. He is a walking slab of stone that uses his own face to flatten Mario. They act calm until Mario approaches, and then it increases speed and attempts to slam. The version in 2D would be really unique to other enemies in that it becomes almost a background element until Mario gets close, but could also be used to reach high places if Mario is careful. We need to add the pushing mechanic into Mario Maker 3, and I can't think of a better way to do it than with roller blocks. Mario can push these into place to solve puzzles, or just to smush enemies he doesn't like. If we're adding those roller blocks, we definitely also need crawling pipes. Push these bad boys to score some sweet gold, or to connect to a pipe and find a secret zone. The Acorn suit was a really fun addition in the 3.0 update, which has me wondering, why weren't Waddle Wings added as well? These are the enemy equivalent of that power-up, cute squirrels who can glide across levels and cling to walls. My favorite part is that these enemies can patrol the skies by gliding in an area, grabbing a wall, then changing directions. Waddle Wings would add fun dodging for sky platforming levels, and even more interesting elements for don't touch the ground levels. NPCs could also give us messages, but could do so much more. They could offer us a side quest, or just give us power-ups. It'd be awesome if they could follow us and possibly even help fight enemies. In Mario Wonder, there are certain trees that the Goomba transformation can hide behind. I would love to see levels that use platforms like this for all characters to make more stealth-type levels. We have frozen coin blocks that require fire to open them, so why not add new jewel blocks? These can be broken in many different ways, and you can place coins and special items inside of them. We have red and green Yoshi, but in Mario Maker 3, we have more of the rainbow. Blue Yoshi can lick a shell and grow wings and be able to fly for a short time, and yellow Yoshi can lick a shell and gain a stomping ability when he jumps in the air. But that's not it, let's also throw baby Yoshis in the mix. Blue Baby Yoshi shoots bubbles that turn enemies into coins and power-ups. Pink Baby Yoshi turns into a balloon and allows Mario to fly for a bit. And Yellow Baby Yoshi lights up the darkness and stuns enemies with the bright light. I don't know about you, but Hammer Bros have provided me with countless deaths over the years. Well, I think it's time we turn the tables. With the Hammer suit, Mario can throw hammers just like Hammer Bros. Right now, the closest thing we have is Yoshi licking hammers and spitting them back in Mario Maker 2, but I want true vengeance on these Hammer Bros by giving them a taste of their own medicine. Honkers are one of those enemies that are so simple, yet so effective. This big flamingo waits for Mario to come close, and then slams down to the ground with its beak. In a 2D game style, Honkers would be in the background and only be able to be defeated after they attack, adding in a whole new layer of strategy for Mario. These enemies would be the perfect addition for levels where Mario needs to move in a slow and calculated way, but also a great addition for speedrun type levels where he barely outruns the danger behind him. P-switches are nice, but an even better addition is the timer switch. With this feature, Mario can activate blocks to stand on and visually see that timer ticking down. If he's too slow, he will fall into the spicy cherry juice. Linking glyphs are creative new variations of these ride levels. Instead of just a platform on a track like many Mario Maker 2 courses, Mario actively finds and hits the links to keep his platform from disappearing. The only thing better than Mario is more Marios. The double cherry creates a clone of Mario that moves exactly with him. The clones even share other power-ups like fire flowers. The double cherry would be great for puzzle courses where you need to maneuver multiple characters to open a door, or when you need more firepower for a level with hordes of enemies. If running into the fight hurling fireballs isn't your thing, check out the Ninja power-up. Ninja Mario can climb up walls and throw ninja stars at his foes. This power-up would be a fantastic way to make a sneaky stealth type of level where Mario must avoid being seen by certain enemies while he moves through the course. Tags like Boss Battle and Multiplayer need a lot of love. Now in Mario Maker 3, players can help vote for appropriate tags for the level after they play it. The most votes on what the tag is becomes the tag for that level. Mario Maker 3 is bringing crawling on fences back. Mario can be on the front or back of these fences and punches a panel to switch between the two. He can punch pesky turtles through the fence and find hidden items and secrets. Mario loves to gamble, so we're adding in the item roulette block. It contains a set of items chosen by the maker that flicker alternately in a particular order. The item that the block displays while it's hit is usually the item that comes out. The Fizzlet is an enemy that can melt into a puddle and shock Mario. This dynamic enemy is vulnerable and cute until they turn liquid and shocky. Mario Maker 3 needs more enemies that require strategy and timing to work with, and the Fizzlet is the perfect candidate. Twisters are such a cool idea, but why are they only vertical? And also, why are they a gizmo? Anyway, we need Typhoos in the game. They're basically a sideways twister enemy that can start and stop periodically. Typhoos could slow Mario down, give him more speed, or even try to push him off an edge. I figured, since they programmed wind into the Desert Night theme, Typhoos can't be that difficult to add, right? The single thing that broke the most controllers and TV screens after getting a checkpoint is this monstrosity. Now with the start over from checkpoint button, we can save our sanity and not lose hours of progress. The new purple coins will work similar to Mario Odyssey. Only up to 20 can be placed in each level, and players keep these cumulative coins from every level they play. Spend these to unlock outfits or even new playable characters that don't alter the gameplay, but make your game look pretty cool. Sometimes I just want to obliterate the entire level that the creators worked so hard to build. Does that make me evil? The Mega Mushroom makes Mario huge and allows him to walk over and destroy blocks and enemies in his path. It would be really satisfying to find this power-up in a hidden block and then completely obliterate a boss in a single hit. On the other extreme, we need to mention the Mini Mushroom. This tiny fungus makes Mario small with a floatier jump, lets him run on water, and he can enter smaller areas like tiny pipes. One of the biggest problems in Mario Maker 2 is that lives and power-ups can feel like they don't really matter. The Mini Mushroom is a unique way to grant Mario a power-up early on in a level, and if he doesn't take damage, reward him with a room of sweet, sweet gold. If you just want to troll your friend but not subject the rest of the world to your hot garbage, new level privacy options are for you. Now, levels can be posted privately, playable by code only, so you can mess with your friends or get feedback before the final product. You now have the option to turn on screen wrap mode. In a vertical area, go to the right of the screen and pop out on the left side and the other way around. This next enemy is one of the coolest looking enemies in any Mario game. Mega Mole is a giant Monty Mole with sunglasses that Mario can actually ride on top of or get hit by. This baddie is super versatile and can be used as a vehicle to get across spikes or just as a big creature to have to avoid. These little decorations that pop up when dragging things around are awesome. Why are they random? And why are there only a few per theme? Well, no more. In Mario Maker 3, we have a whole editor for decorations. Place a little bush over there, a statue over here. You want a palm tree in a castle? Why not? Makers can make their levels more immersive or just more ridiculous, which is what Mario Maker is actually all about. The Bluebird enemy is unlike anything we've seen in Mario Maker before. Now, makers can add this enemy to their levels to have them spit out projectiles that turn into platforms. This addition makes platforming more interesting and dangerous. We have cloud blocks and the sky theme, but why not add the cloud power-up? Cloud Mario can create temporary platforms with the Cloud Flower, but can only make 3 clouds at a time before needing to grab a new one. This can help Mario get that tasty coin snack he sees in the distance, or explore high areas in a level. Sumo Bros are Koopas that ate too much, and can now stomp to cause big fires or electric shockwaves. We need more beefy enemies that add challenge to Mario Maker 3, and the Sumo Bro can definitely do that. I can already see tons of creators making tough platforming levels where you need to avoid the Sumo Bros attacks, or boss fights with added danger coming from these overweight turtles. I know there are so many amazing levels out there in Mario Maker 2, but to find them, you have to play through garbage like this. With the new search function, you can type in keywords you are looking for, and levels using those in the description will show up like magic. Follow your favorite creators and search within those levels and block terrible makers from showing up in your search results. Plus, you can search for super worlds now to be able to play good ones. On-off blocks revolutionize what we can do in Mario Maker 2. They are probably my #1 choice for the best thing added in the entire game. I want another set of on-off blocks, and I decided that they'll be purple and orange because we already have yellow pea blocks and green snake blocks. Just think of what crazy things people can make with 2 sets. Have you ever wondered what a baby thwomp would look like? A thwimp is just a fun-sized thwomp that can jump around but still hurt Mario. They're not too difficult to avoid, but they jump in a curved pathway, which can definitely add some flavor in your next castle course. They can also be placed to jump on top of question blocks for more risk versus reward for Mario. It's hard to make friends, and every time I try to play Mario Maker 2 with them, they never want to hang out again. In Mario Maker 3, you can now play Super Worlds online. Online play has no lag, and story mode now has an option for 2 players. The weird mushroom being missing from Mario Maker 2 is, well, weird. Weird Mario becomes taller and skinnier, and also gets a higher jump. I'll be honest and say this power-up is not the most unique or useful thing in the world, but I think Mario Maker 1 had so much charm because of how strange it was, and adding the weird mushroom will help bring back that silly feeling to Mario Maker 3. Hey, when are you going to mention the new themes? You want themes? You got them. Beach, mountain, spicy mountain. Autumn theme, tower theme, train theme, underground conduit for carrying off drainage and waste theme. You can now even combine themes together and unlock all the assets from both themes. Now we can see more combos like a frozen desert or an underwater ghost house. World maps now get all the game styles and new decorations. Each world can feel more unique and not just like you're playing the same one over and over. Potted piranha plants might not be what we think of as a traditional power-up, but these chompy vines have a lot to offer. Mario can pick up and carry the plant, and it will eat most enemies and even grab green stars. I hope Nintendo will add green stars or star coins in Mario Maker 3, and this item would be perfect to help hunt down these hard-to-reach collectibles. It would also be hilarious in multiplayer if potted piranha plants could chomp the other players while Mario tries to run to the end. If you ask any Mario Maker 2 player what their most wanted enemy is, Charge and Chuck will be near the top of their list. For anyone that doesn't know about Charge and Chuck, he's basically what would happen if Koopa played sports 24/7 and got really buff. This enemy has 7 variations and can throw baseballs, kick footballs, fling rocks, and more. Charge and Chuck also takes more hits to be defeated, which can add another layer of difficulty in levels without just spamming more enemies everywhere. It may be difficult to program all these variations into every game style, but I think it will be well worth it for all the unique levels creators will come up with. The boulder as an enemy itself doesn't seem creative at first glance, but what we can do with it in Mario Maker 3 could be amazing. This rolling boulder enemy turns into a giant rock when you jump on it and can only be defeated by throwing it into a pit. It would also be similar to a Koopa that wakes up after a certain amount of time, except that these boulders can break through hard blocks and question blocks if Mario throws it. I would love to see a boss battle where these enemies constantly try to roll at Mario, and he needs to dodge both them and use them as ammo to defeat the boss. In the Mario Wonder style, collecting the Wonder Flower can trigger any night theme effect of your choosing. A timer will appear on screen that the maker can adjust, and Mario will only have that amount of time to hunt down a hidden Wonder Seed. This style will also feature new power-ups like Elephant Man and Bowling Guy. To expand on the Wonder mechanic, Mario Maker 3 will feature Wonder effects. Because adding every Wonder effect is impractical, course creators will be able to select from a list of 10 preset events like character transformations or swimming in lava. Scrumptious strawberry coins are missing from Mario Maker. Adding a red coin ring makes several red coins appear, but only for a limited time. You, as the maker, can customize what the prize is for getting them all. Yeah, Arrow Guy, but where are my favorite characters? In Mario Maker 3, you can play as Rosalina, Daisy, Wario, the Meme Lord, and whoever else your heart desires. They all function the same, so it won't mess with level design, and they're unlocked with those purple coins I talked about, as well as beating certain modes, like outfits were unlocked in Mario Maker 2. The Link power-up and the Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom are cool and all, but we really need to bring back the mystery mushroom. With this power-up, Mario transforms into Costume Mario, which has many variations on which costume he can wear. While this mushroom is purely for looks, it gives makers and players more options for the character they play as, and it adds so much potential to build themes into your courses. Super Worlds now allow you to edit their name and description. No more is the guess and check method to see if a Super World is worth playing. Now you can know what to expect before being disappointed by the first few levels. Hear me out. Square-shaped levels. Not just horizontal, not just vertical, a big ol' square. Lava bubbles are iconic and all, but fire snakes are much more interesting. These fire serpents can follow Mario and are able to jump up and climb through semi-solids. They could even make for some really interesting darkness levels where Mario uses the snake as a tool to see the path forward before jumping. I want to capture a Goomba. In the new Mario Odyssey game style, you can become enemies. And even better, you can give them hats. Each level can have 3 moons to collect in place of star coins, and this mode has a health system with hearts to collect instead of power-ups. Speaking of star coins, yeah, those exist now. Each level can hold up to 3, but they're optional to place down. You can use a clear condition if you want to require the players to gather all the delicious gold. And in a super world, your overall star coin count saves to allow you to open up secret paths. Mario Galaxy, the best game in the mainline series, yeah, I said it, is a style 2. Mario can spin after jumping. He can also run around planets, but only breaks free from gravity if he jumps to the next planet. Collectible star bits are found in this style, and makers can place a hungry Luma in their level. Once the hungry Luma is fattened up with enough star bits, a launch star appears to reward thorough players with new secret areas. I remember how hyped I was for 2-player levels. Nintendo showed off some awesome co-op and how amazing it could be, but levels have a major problem. Everything had to be beatable by 1 player. In Mario Maker 3, co-op tagged levels must be beaten with 2 players or more to upload. When you try to play it, it requires you to switch to 2 players. And the best part? The multiplayer tag also makes it not able to show up in endless mode. Genius, right? You can even designate entire super worlds as multiplayer only, and it will only let you add multiplayer levels. Boos are amazing enemies that can add spookiness to any level. One variation that was overlooked in Mario Maker 2 is the Boo block. You see, these boos have the ability to turn into blocks when Mario is looking at them, and he can actually step on top of them and use them as terrain. Boo blocks can add a new element for platforming or even reward very curious players by adding secrets in otherwise unreachable areas. If you like to play co-op but have no friends like me, then the Heavy Stone is for you. This little companion lowers Mario's jump height, but makes for interesting puzzles. We all desperately want a beach theme in the 3rd installment of the Mario Maker saga, and what better enemy to go with it than the Hucket Crab? The Hucket Crab throws an unlimited amount of rocks from its claw that fly in a straight line. These new crustaceans can help enhance the atmosphere by giving us more options than just Cheep Cheeps and bloopers for water-related levels. Speaking of more water-related enemies, Mario Maker 3 needs Skeeters. These spider-like enemies can walk on top of water, but can also walk on land. Skeeters paired with water rising and falling could make for really fun challenges for the player to interact with. Slap on a clear condition to not touch the ground, and these enemies can let creators have more possibilities to torture Mario. The scroll lock feature can make the screen scroll right but not left. Blocks are nice, but where is the mystery and intrigue? With new moving bricks into the level, it can feel like the level is building itself while you play. Fuzzies are a long overdue addition to the Mario Maker toolkit. These cute but ugly blobs typically move along wires and damage Mario on contact, but can be defeated with fireballs or a star. Not only would fuzzies be great as obstacles for traditional style platforming levels, but they would also be a great variation for rising lava in themes other than the castle theme. Mario 3D World added this idea in the game, and these were some of my favorite moments that we could carry over to Mario Maker 3. In Mario Maker 3, big flaming meatballs rain down from the sky. These meteors can break through certain blocks and add danger to the spicy mountain theme, or whatever theme you wish. Expand a star's power by making it a progressive star. Add a coin on a star so the block will spit out a coin unless Mario already has a star. This can make for prolonged invincibility for skilled players or for more intricate secrets. Mario Maker 2 has so many levels built around a specific power-up, but too often they end up looking like this. With Power-Up Lock, Mario can't lose his abilities and has a health bar instead. If he collects power-ups, it just increases his health by 1. This mode can be applied to a specific area or the entire level. Bosses get stale pretty quick in Mario Maker 2, but not anymore. Introducing the Boss Editor. You can pick any enemy to be a boss, which makes it larger and adds a crown on his head. You then choose how many hits it takes to defeat, and you can even change the color. To avoid unleashing too much of Little Timmy's wrath, you can only apply this to 1 boss per area. Do you like music? Me too. So much that now there's a separate music editor in the game. Create entire music levels in this bad boy and then just save the track. Then you can use that track over any level without having all these bouncy annoying things blocking the gameplay. Now Mario can triple jump, kick, and punch. This one has a health system too, but way sillier. You're feeling injured? Eat a coin. Still sore? Go swimming and come up for air and then boom! Healthy. Instead of a flagpole, collect a superstar to finish the course. Night effects are really interesting, but sometimes I want the night look without messing with the gameplay. Now with Mario Maker 3's night effect toggle, you can choose to keep the effect or turn it off. Some makers are really lazy. We need a feature to fill in our blocks so less levels look like this. Drag to fill will make our levels look beautiful. Next on the list is a variation of the Shy Guy called a Sniffit. To make things more interesting than the basic enemy, this enemy can shoot bullets from its mouth every once in a while for Mario to dodge. Everyone loves a good secret, and Mario Maker 3 has tons of them. You can now add these false walls to your courses. Make a vine climb Mario up to a secret zone, or you can let him fall through the quicksand to find one. Piranha plants are one of the most common enemies in Mario Maker 2, but what we need to do is add Tooie. This character first appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3 and can shoot spike balls up into the sky at different speeds while moving left and right. This variation could definitely spice up Piranha Plant levels and could work similarly to the way we place Piranha Creepers or Snake Blocks in the editor. To break up the monotony of always going to the right, let us choose where to spawn and where to finish the level. It adds a lot more flavor to levels and makes exploration more interesting and important. I know you guys want this next one. Hidden exits are here. You can add a secret second exit to a level with a different colored flagpole. It can unlock a secret route in the super world or just have a different ending screen. More checkpoints, please. Rolling hills, because regular hills are boring. Paddle platform. It's like a boat, but not at all. Rope lifts, because more lifts, more better. Super Mario World brought us a unique starting enemy, Rex. He's a winged dinosaur that can't fly, but he takes 2 hits to defeat. Even cooler, his behavior changes after the first hit. He gets shorter and runs faster. I can see creative players making puzzle levels where you need to strategically pick a height for a different amount of Rex enemies in order to solve a room and move forward. Or, a simpler idea is to use both Rex and Yoshi to have a dinosaur-themed world for your first Mario Maker 3 Super World. More subworlds. You don't have to cram everything in one main world and one subworld now. That means more themes per level too. Doors can now switch between main and subworlds, and pipes can now stay within one area. Mario Maker 1 lets us download levels, so why not Mario Maker 3? It's super helpful to figure out how something works and helps when you want to practice a certain section of a level. To avoid thieves just changing something and re-uploading it, you aren't allowed to save any changes or upload the level that you downloaded. Some of our most incredible levels have makeshift cutscenes throughout. Now, with the cutscene editor, Mario can be invulnerable and disabled for up to 10 seconds while a story element plays out on the screen. Picture this, you're ripping through an epic level, and anticipation is building as you make your way to what you know is the final boss. When you get there, the door is just this lame door. Instead, now we have boss doors that lead to a separate subworld arena. Once the boss is defeated, a victory animation plays and the level is over. No need to grab a flagpole. Exclamation blocks from Super Mario World can make Super Worlds feel like full games and not just separate levels strung together. Hunt for the switch somewhere in the world and then make hidden passages open up in a future level. These can add challenge to ignore finding the switches, or can make levels easier if you take the time to find them. This also adds replayability by having players go back once they've flipped the switch. The concept of having liquids in our levels in Mario Maker 2 was mind-blowing, but now we've become greedy. In Mario Maker 3, we can add water, poison, lava, quicksand, and pink soup from Mario Odyssey to any theme. You can also add it in specific areas instead of having to use it in the entire level. Grab your surfboard, because now we got waves. Surfboard Mario is in a future DLC. All those liquids can now be in wave form also. Waves still not enough for you? How about geysers that shoot the liquid up in a specific spot in the level? Use them to platform up or to get burned. Oh man, am I finally done talking about liquids? Nope. Mario Maker 3 now has bubbles that float in the air. You can swim through a water bubble to reach new heights. You can now add weather effects to any theme like rain, thunder, snow, and wind to add an element of immersion or story to your levels. The puffy lift sinks down and disappears if you stand on it for too long. These are a great alternative to donut blocks and work well with having enemies drop down onto them, giving Mario some fun anxiety in the process. Man, this video is getting long, so let's pick up the pace. We need Luma, Lubba, Captain Toad, Poplins, Talking Flowers, Pauline, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Malo, Gino, Poochie, Nabbit, Queen Bee, Yellow Toad, Madam Brood, Skewert, Topper, Rango, Harriet, Smithy, Croco, Fury Bowser, the Gigabell, the Goldflower, the Ice Skate, Triple Lakitus, Mamas, Mistlemegs, Mumsies, Out-of-my-ways, Dark Koopas, Noshers, Firework Thing, Hot Bows, Hoppycat, Anglefish, Armad, Tall Mushroom, Condart, Snail, Fire Spike, Shova, Pokepede, Robert, Slidin', Smackerel, Bullrush, Rard, Skedaddler, and Fiery Pinwheels from Mario Wonder. Speaking of adding Mario Wonder into Mario Maker, to see how I made the full Mario Wonder demo inside Mario Maker 2, click on the video on screen now. I'm Arrowstotle, and thanks for watching.